Hey,
Hello.
Theatrefolk here, and we are talking about a show we saw last night called Follies by Sondheim.
Mm-hmm.
Follies is a musical that is about a bygone era where we see showgirls reuniting after many, many years. And
At a theater that's about to be demolished. So
yeah, and the theater itself looked like it was about to be demolished when we walked in. The walls were covered in drab gray ripped tarps. There were bare lights hanging in the audience, and it really set the scene for what was to come.
there was the sound of wind sort of echoing through the theater just to really set the scene.
There was a soundscape. It wasn't unlike the soundscape outside of the Haunted Mansion at Disney World. You didn't hear. The only thing you were missing was the wolves howling.
And then every once in a while there's like the echo of applause, and it was just like you knew you were in for something special.
And we really did see something special.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking about it all night, and I still don't know what to say about it.
Well, we were really looking forward to it, and so the greatest thing I could say is that it lived up to our expectations and passed it. We are huge Sondheim fans, and we have seen a number of them, and we usually we allow a lot of faults because we love the music so much. I think that Sondheim has a second act problem a lot of times, and I have to say that this is the most complete show as a whole piece, the most thoughtful, the most visionary, the most heartbreaking, the most breathtaking, and because we know so many of the songs from Follies out of context, because they're great concert pieces, they're shown in concert all the time, but when you see them in context with the that whole notion of, is the past better? Did we make the right decisions? Do we regret the decisions that we made? Love lost.
If you know, you probably know a lot of the songs from Follies.
Broadway Baby.
Losing My Mind. Buddy's Blues. But if you just, unless you know the show Follies, you don't know anything about those songs because they are completely different in the context of the show.
And I have to say, this show has one of the best second act surprises that I didn't know anything about. Craig and I went to the show. Again, we know a lot of music, didn't know the show.
Yeah.
And literally, there is a section called Loveland that I've never seen a musical do. It basically ripped apart its convention and made us both sat with our mouths agape for about a good half an hour.
Yeah, it's a section that just there's a build, and then bam, like everything changes at once, scenically, character-wise.
The best way I could describe it is it showed the mental breakdown of 4 characters in song and dance.
Yes, and it was really something you will never see again. That's the reason we came, is because everyone said you'll never see a show like this again. It had a cast of at least 40 people, an orchestra of, I think it was around 30 people, and shows on that scale just aren't done on Broadway anymore, and certainly not material that's as challenging as this.
And what we really came away with is that we're not doing enough. Like we as artists, we've got to strive better, strive for more, strive for the epic, not bigger. Epic is not necessarily bigger. There were lots of moments in Follies that were easily staged with some lights and some heartfelt emotion, and we've got to be more epic, and we have to strive for to be the absolute top of what we can be, and we cannot settle. Yeah,
and on epic too. I think the show was on an epic scale, and yet the only story that was really taking place was a tiny little love quadrangle, I guess you would call it.
And here's a great thing. This one act, or the first act of Follies, was also an hour and a half, same as Anything Goes. Felt like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
it was beautiful.
That was Follies. Come and see it, but
it's closing. So nah. And we're thrilled and we're excited that we made this trip to be able to see it. And I'm not a big believer in a moment that changed my life, but I think that changed my life.
Okay, me too.